Hello, it's Norton York here. I'm chairman of RSL Awards and I am thrilled and delighted to be here with Muyiwa Olarewaju at Premier Gospel radio station. And we are here for a very special reason, because at RSL we are always keen to honour and celebrate excellence, and today we're doing that by presenting Muyiwa with our fellowship, which is our absolutely highest honour. We do this because Muyiwa is an absolute role model for young performers and broadcasters around the globe. Many moons ago, I was honoured that he studied with me at a commercial music course, and he went on and performed and developed a career through major record labels, and then has now established himself as the leading UK gospel broadcaster. He's just as comfortable fronting a huge band performing at the proms at the Albert Hall as he is here at Premier, broadcasting to his many fans, or interviewing archbishops or prime ministers from around the world. And it's for his diverse talent as a performer and a songwriter, a gospel leader and a broadcaster that we are absolutely delighted and honoured today to present Muyiwa Olarewaju with our fellowship. Well done, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Norton. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yay!
Thank you.
Hi, so it's Norton York here from RSL Awards, and I'm delighted to be here at Premier Gospel Music with our RSL fellow, Muyiwa Olarewaju. Great to see you, Muyiwa.
Good to see you, Norton.
So thanks so much for just taking a bit of time out to chat to me about your career and music and how music education has helped you. And several decades ago, seems like a blink in time to me, you and I were teacher and student on a commercial music course in London. And I just wondered whether you could share with us what inspired you to come on a course like that and how it helped you in your career.
Thanks, Norton. I have to say, on a personal note, just thank you, because apart from being my lecturer, you've been constant in my life for all these decades. So I'll call Norton if I got something with my kids. Norton, yab 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 yab, and you've been a great guide through those years. The course, commercial music at Westminster University, I came to it because music was in my soul. I mean, I grew up wanting to do music. My parents, being the Nigerians, they were, and Nigerians typically they want you to be an architect, an accountant, a doctor, or something like that. And I wanted to be a musician. That was a no-no. The the compromise was do business studies, East London University, and I'd been doing that. And I came across the course. It was the first of its kind, as far as we understood, because everything else was pointed at classical music. Now, whilst classical music is great and we love it, but not everyone is from that culture, or that's not everyone's voice or expresses, or the tools they use to express themselves. And popular culture was what we were, pop kids. When I saw it, I saw it for a friend of mine, my best friend Eddie Martin, who we ended up in the same course, and I thought this is great for Eddie, and I thought, no, this is the course I want to do. And I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to do it, because it had a huge impact on my life. One, I was able to achieve what I always wanted to do, which was to be a musician. Two, it gave me some incredible relationships that I still have decades later. And three, it helped my confidence. I'd been sent back to this country as a 9-year-old, and I'd gone through some horrific things. I mean, I'd grown up on my school, which is not too far from here, Archbishop Tennyson's grammar school. I'd been called all sorts of names there. My confidence had been knocked severely. I'd become quite ashamed of being black and being African, And then I come to commercial music, and you and the other lecturers were, when I was saying, no, I want you to be you. I want you to be authentically you. I want you to draw on your experiences as a young black man, as an African. I want to hear what you have to say. It gave me confidence to open my mouth. And I'm not just talking about my gob, but I was able to my tone of voice, find it, and also feel comfortable in my skin. And what you don't realize is, back those days, it was great therapy for us, and we didn't even realize it was therapy. It's only now we're older that we have the language to say it was therapy, but it was great therapy. And so for me, I found it by accident, but I say it was destiny, and getting there, it really was the start of a great journey, which we're still doing the journey now, and great relationships.
Wow. Okay, you've just answered most of my questions. That is wonderful. And thank you for saying what you just said, because I think with youngsters learning about pop music, some of them think it's just about a catchy phrase, but I think it's all about identity and communication. And I just wondered, if you were talking to a younger you now, knowing what you do know, what would you say to a young gospel musician who might be in India, might be in Africa, might be in Britain, who wants to develop a career? And what encouragement could you offer to them about how they might develop their artistry so that they make some impact and some headway?
You know, it's a funny thing, because you end up saying what your parents said to you, which you didn't listen to, and the likelihood is a younger you probably wouldn't listen. You know, but at the end of the day, what the elders say is a lot of it is true. I mean, some of it is nonsense, but a lot of it is true in that work hard, focus. But I would say to myself, a younger me, I would probably say, enjoy yourself a little bit more. I think I was thrust into adulthood very early because of my circumstances, and so I was forced to become an adult very quickly, and which meant for me doing the course was not just doing the course. I was focused because I knew this could be the key to breaking out of my economic darkness, and this could be the key for me breaking out of the doldrum I found myself in as a person. This could be the key for me finding my identity and being able to stamp whatever I had on the world. This could be. So I was so focused. It was so bad that and I don't know if you remember this, so focused on a first class with honors, and some of that, Norton, really is because I'm the first son of 4 children. I have 2 older sisters. My 2 older sisters were measured, and they were found to be geniuses. It wasn't that our parents were just excited. They were smart kids. The oldest one was in university by the age of 16. The younger one went to Tunbridge Wells at the age of 15. And then I came along. Now in my culture, the first son is the big dude. He is the right hand of strength, as they call it. And I was, according to them, I was dull as a brush. But you know, and unfortunately, words broke me because they were very direct about what they thought, and this were family members, you see. And it's just unfortunate, you know, they just didn't have the skills to deal with it. So all that had really crushed me. So when I was doing the music, this was my opportunity to show all of them that I wasn't an idiot. So I was going gung-ho for the first class degree, and I remember clearly one day we were coming towards the end of a course. I was so focused I couldn't people were saying hello to me on what we call, I think, did we call it the street or the highway or something at Harrow?
The street, yeah.
Yeah, the big walkway. And people were walking past and saying that I didn't hear them because I was so locked in, and it was so unhealthy. So I would have said to myself back then, chill, just enjoy the moment, because there was such good friendship, there was such good vibes, the environment there was, it was healing for me, but because I was so focused on that tiny thing, which now meant nothing, and I was focused on it because I wanted to prove something to somebody else, who probably weren't thinking about me. So I would say to me, a younger me, relax and enjoy the moment. And that sounds ridiculous, because in our society now, you're under pressure to perform. If your Instagram feed is not showing 10,000 likes, you feel like a failure as an artist, and you think, oh, I've got. No, you don't got to. You've got to be you. You've got to breathe, because an unhealthy you is going to create unhealthy art. You don't get to the meat of what you are, except you're in touch with the real you. If all you're doing is competing or trying to do it for somebody else, it's never true. And you could talk, I mean, endlessly about the philosophy and the psychology of great art, and you could take us into the academics of it, but really, just chill, enjoy it. And it might be hard, because you think, I might be in Mumbai, and I just managed to get out of the ghetto. How would you tell me enjoy it? Well, let me tell you, I lived in a home full of vermins. Just that I grew up early parts of my life going to private schools, and then was thrust into brokenness over here. It totally decimated my confidence. But I lived through it, and I could tell you intelligently and with authority, having been through it, that actually slow down, breathe, enjoy the moment, and in that you find strength to do your battles properly. Hurrying after it and killing yourself, you end up with a heart that's older than you, and then you're no use to yourself and no use to and the world needs your true voice.
Well, we've got your true voice, and now you're about to receive an OBE from the Queen, which is an amazingly brilliant achievement, and congratulations for it. And I just wondered if, amongst all the congratulations, because you are one of the first people involved in gospel music to receive this honour, whether you had a moment to reflect, what does that tell us about British culture today, that you as a gospel broadcaster and musician is being honoured in this way? Because it's a wonderful thing.
It is, and I've been joking about it, saying that Her Majesty made a mistake, but I'm not giving it back. We're taking to my village and we're going to lock it up. But I mean, to be the first gospel artist ever to be awarded an OBE, the first African, to be, it's a huge thing for me. I think it speaks volumes of where we've come from. I know there are some uncomfortable conversations around empire and those things that we have and are having and should have, but I think for me, when I think, and this is, if I take it back a little to Westminster University and commercial music, I think we were years ahead, because the conversations we were having, and conversations you were sort of forcing us into, because we had students who were disgruntled about one thing or another, and what you did was you would say, right, we need to talk, and force us into a place where we actually thought, okay, what are the issues I have here, think them through and be able to articulate our minds, and I think those conversations that we had helped us, gave us the clarity of mind and the strength to be able to speak, and that's what allowed me to do the journey that I've done to get to where I am, which is what Downing Street and Her Majesty the Queen recognize for services to music. But I think hopefully many others will see and realize that actually, even if I'm just doing a small genre of music, it's not a waste. It's not missing. It's not locked away in some room somewhere where no one cares. If I'm not selling millions like Ed Sheeran, it still counts.
Yeah.
And in this moment that we're in our world, where it seems that the divisions are so loudly amplified, it's exciting to see the dominant culture celebrating others.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important for us all to celebrate one another. So for me, it's been a huge blessing, apart from the fact that I can walk around my village and say OVE.
I know. And now you can also see I'm a fellow of Rock School, FRSL, as well.
Absolutely. Even if they don't know what it means, that's FRSL.
That's it. Honours. Fantastic. Well, Muyiwa, thank you so much for becoming one of our fellows and speaking in such clear and articulate way about all those issues. And I look forward to us collaborating for many years to come as we develop Rock School and as your career also continues to flourish.
Thank you, Norton. And I said it before, and I'll say it again, because I'm a firm believer in not saying it when the person's gone, because your tutelage, your input, it helped me in my academics. It helped me as a man. It helped me in how I brought up my children. Not that we've always agreed on every point, but you've challenged me to think, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for the gift of access. Now you will get very shy about it and think, no, but if I didn't have the access, I wouldn't have the benefit of the wisdom and the experiences and learning from some of your mistakes.
Yeah.
I mean, we were watching, before I went to Westminster, we were watching Rock School on TV. We were super excited.
Yeah.
And so to meet the guy who was behind it, like, wow, this is, and then to be able to learn therein, and then to find out that actually the biggest part of the biggest thing that's touched me in my journey from you isn't being the brilliant academic that you are, or the brilliant creative that you are. It's just a brilliant human being that you are, and you would try and hide from that, but my family know it, my wife knows it, so I'm super grateful, and I hope that you live many more years for others to enjoy the brilliance that God has put in you. So thank you.
Thank you, sir.